Hey everyone, special service here. Welcome back to the finals. See, I told you I'd be back sooner than you'd think. Today, I'll be going over everything Season 3 has brought to the show. Today will be a slightly shorter video than normal, but that's just because I want to quickly address everything that the finals has added in Season 3. The major new additions are the new arena, Kyoto 1568. It's a beautiful map, it's incredibly unique, and there's tons of verticality and traversal options all across. The traditional Japanese buildings are fantastic and pretty fun to fight through. There are large ponds scattered across the map, and the water does slow you down, so do try to stay out of it if possible. You are genuinely a sitting duck whenever you are touching water in this game. There's a new major game mode called World Tour. It has weekly challenges and weekly game modes. Currently, it just plays like your regular tournament ranked playlist, but without any ranks. Regular tournament match as in your 4 teams of 3 with 3 knockout rounds. In World Tour, you can progress your World Tour rank, which is separate from your actual competitive rank. It's just a little badge on your profile, and you can only level it up by winning matches in World Tour mode. There are some new weapons that have been added. The medium build gets the dual blades, which are way better than the shield for any sort of melee. The dual blades has the ability to reflect damage back at your opponents if they're shooting you by using the block with the dual blades. However, you won't reflect all damage, you'll still take some chip damage through the reflection, but it's a pretty good tool for getting out of 1v1s at range and allowing you to reposition and try and get the drop on them with the swords. Unfortunately, it is kind of a gimmick weapon. As soon as a second person starts shooting you, or you come across a team, it's pretty difficult unless you're already up in their face to get any eliminations, but it is possible. It might do better in big team modes. I've only played World Tour so far this season, so I don't know, it might perform better there, but for sure in World Tour mode and tournament style games, definitely skip melee weapons. Other than that, no major balance changes have been made to the medium build, so it's all pretty much the same as last season. The light got a couple of new pieces this season. They got the bow, which is a pretty inconsistent weapon from what I've seen, but I have seen some people in the arena who are fantastic with the bow and they absolutely wreck. They're definitely better at it than me. Maybe I just haven't found the tempo for the bow yet, but I just don't find it to be the most consistently damaging thing out there for light. Light also got a new gadget, the thermal bore. It's an incredibly versatile tool that can create sight lines or destroy structures from a distance. I've seen it be especially useful on suspended cash outs in World Tour mode, as it's pretty easy to shoot the cable suspending the platform with the thermal bore and just drop it back to the ground so they don't have such a high ground advantage over you. The LH1 received a buff for some mysterious reason. It's now more consistent and overpowered than ever before. If you played the game at launch and you remember the 3 heavy meta, it's worse. It's now the 3 light meta. Everyone runs the LH1. It's now easier to shoot while standing still and crouched. The visual recoil has been reduced slightly. It does incredible amounts of damage. If you're spotted out in the open by an LH1 user, it's pretty much over for you. And running into a full team of lights running LH1s, it's just game over for everyone else in the arena. You cannot compete with their DPS. It's crazy. I'm expecting some sort of nerf this week or next during the weekly update. However, the LH1 is just one piece of the trifecta of ruining World Tour tournaments. Next up is the throwing knives. They have had their travel time reduced slightly, so they do require more leading of your shots. The throwing knives are the ambusher's favorite weapon. You can't hear them thrown until they've already hit you or hit a surface, and they do ridiculous amounts of damage, especially when thrown from close range. I, as a medium main, often find myself just decimated by lights no matter what I do, and it doesn't help that the heavy has the third and final piece of this unholy trifecta for World Tour, the Winch Claw. This specialization, during the first 3 days of the season, was the only thing you saw people using. And it is ridiculous how overpowered this piece of junk is. While its range was slightly nerfed from the early test footage that we saw, it's still incredibly overpowered. It has maybe a 7-second cooldown at most, which is crazy short for an offensive specialization that deals damage. The heavy launches out a claw, which can grapple players, pull them in front of them, and stun them at the same time. So you're dropped in front of a heavy class while stunned, while being dragged across the map. And you stay stunned for so long, it guarantees the heavy gets a free cheap shot on you before you can even move or shoot back or retaliate. The issue is also compounded by the fact that there are known one-shot combos for both lights and medium classes. It's a crazily overpowered specialization, and I would expect this to be nerfed within the coming days. The heavy also got a new melee weapon in the spear, but its hit reg isn't the best and it seems bugged most of the time, and it has a cool spin move on its ult attack, but it rarely ever seems to actually damage opponents. Now, I don't want to sound like such a Debbie Downer during this video. Despite the few issues that I've pulled up with some of the balancing and new weapons, everything else this season has been fantastic. I'm a big fan of the weekly challenges in the World Tour mode. I love how much XP that they grant. It really helps you accelerate through the battle pass. I'm pretty content with how all the rest of the kits for the builds are balanced, excluding some of the problematic items that I brought up in this video, but those can all be addressed within time. I'm a big fan of team chat. I find it incredibly helpful when I don't want to put my mic on and communicate with my teammates. I love the theming of this season. I'm a big sucker for old Japan. Despite all my gripes with how people play in World Tour mode sometimes, I genuinely can't stop playing it. I love that mode to bits. And that really is everything I have to say about Season 3. I just wanted to get a quick little highlight video explaining everything that's happened in Season 3 and catching everyone up to date. I find that most classes are in a pretty good spot right now. Wanted to thank you guys all for watching to this far into the video. Leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. It really does help the channel out. And if you guys are ever looking for someone to play some games with, I do have my own Discord down in the description below. If you want to join it or just say hi, feel free to. Other than that, I will see you guys next time. Peace.